Welcome back, Sentinels. Welcome back. Another episode of Black Father Sentinel, where we are changing the narrative of how fathers are depicted as well as discussed in today's society. Back with another video for you all, but before we jump into it, let's make sure we take care of the house's business. Hit that like button if you haven't done so already. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. And be sure to leave a comment at the end of the video. All right? And then two more things. If we want to continue to push this narrative out there, make sure you hit that share button and also hit that notification button so you can make sure that you're up to date on the latest content that's coming your way. All right. So now that that is out of the way, fathers, I told you I was not going to leave you hanging. In the last video, um, I told you that I would drop a video in regard to, coping mechanisms. Like we all go through things as people in general. But a lot of times, us as fathers, we suffer in silence, right? We know how we were raised. Pretty much the majority of us, especially in the African American community, it wasn't cool to show your emotions. Show no emotions. Emotions will get you hurt. Emotions will get you killed. Emotions make you appear as if you're soft or weak, whatever the case may be. But like I can honestly attest, like I go through pain. I go through things that like it hurts me to the core. You know what I mean? And so I know you other fathers out there, y'all go through some of the same things. Now, you may not have different outlets, or you may not even know how to cope with it, or you may not even want to cope with it. But I'm just here to tell you, yo, it's okay. So I'm doing a mental health check-in day today. I want to know, how are you guys holding up? How are you doing? How are you feeling, right? And this goes for uh, a variety of type of fathers. We have some fathers that are actually in the house with their children, suffering in silence, right? We have some fathers that are outside of the house with their children, suffering in silence. We have some fathers that's dealing with these, angry, that the mother of their children is just angry or bitter or whatever the case may be. Like it's just not putting the interest of the child first, suffering in silence. And so I get it. Like I'm here for you all. I want to know what's going on because I tell you right now, like, I done had plenty of times where I had to cry in the shower. Like I'll be the first one to admit it. And it's not that I feel like I'm not enough or I'm not adding up, or it's just like sometimes you just don't feel appreciated, right? I get it. We just had Father's Day. Some say that should be enough. Some say you should pull yourself up by your bootstraps and just go with it, keep going. But when is it our time to vent? When can we share our thoughts? When can we share our emotions, right? When can we talk to someone? A lot of times we're just like how we were raised. We were just taught to just hold it all in. And how many know pressure bust pipes? We all heard that cliche saying before, pressure bust pipes. And that's absolutely true. Like a lot of times when we hold all this stuff in, like you get all type of crazy thoughts, right? You can become possibly suicidal. You can become addicted to substance abuse. You can be possibly become a workaholic. You can possibly become a person who's just so introvert you don't even want to come out the house outside of going to your job, right? These are all signs of like depression. So I'm just checking in to check on your mental health. Like, how are we coping out here? Like, what are we doing about it? Because we all go through it. And I may be the first one to admit it. I'm sure I won't be the last one to admit it, but I got feelings like everybody else. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. It's easier for women and it's more accepted for women to show their feelings and to express themselves. They normally have like a support system that they can go through. They can talk to their girls, whether they're giving them good advice or not. They can talk to their mom. They can go to them. But we really don't have the outlets that we need in order to, express ourselves or get out that anger or that pain that we're going through. So I'm just here today to let you all know some of the ways that I've actually used these ways myself, right? So I'm not just throwing stuff out there. I've actually did every one of these ones or these options that I'm about to present to you all today. All right. So fathers, if you don't know how to cope, here's just a few ideas that I have for you, and they work for me. And I'm telling you, it makes you feel so much better, right? So number one, and it's just a few of them, okay? So you can exercise. Like for me, that's like monumental. It's just a part of my daily routine now. Like I get out there and I go to the gym either in the morning. If I can get up at 5:30 in the morning, I can normally go to the gym before like an hour and a half before I go to work, come home, take a cold shower, right? That's part of the way that I cope. because a lot of us, like, we have a lot of testosterone, so we want to get all that extra aggression out of our system. So exercise and lifting weights is a great way to do that, right? You just blow all that smoke out of there. Then come home, take a cold shower. Another thing that you can do, you can jog, right? I kid you not, like, this actually helps because it calms your brain down, but it also allows you to sort out your thoughts. Okay. So when I first started on this treadmill, I was running at like 5.0 and I ran for like 40 minutes, I believe. And then that was equivalent to, I believe, I want to say 4 miles. And I just ran as long as I could. And then I gradually gained more time wise as well as speed wise. So now I'm up to 7.5 on the treadmill, and then I'm running at I think 45 minutes, and that produces you about 5.7 miles. Now I also run outside too. I have a little area around my house that I just run around, and I do about 7 miles outside. I do that at night, right? So it's cool at night. I have my headphones on. I kid you not, I went to go buy the whole Nike outfit. Check me out on Twitter. I bought the shoes, the compression pants, the whole nine. So I put the whole thing together. But it's a great way to, relieve stress, um, for you to cope and try to just get your thoughts together. Sometimes, like, it's just a lot that bogs us down, and people don't understand that because nobody really wants to hear what we have to say. But we do have a voice. Hence the reason I created this platform for those of us that's fathers that can't really articulate our thoughts. I got you. Don't even worry about that. All right. Another way you can do, like, this works for me too, reading. So every day I make sure I read for at least 30 minutes. That's in the morning. So I make sure when my mind is fresh, right, it's more alert. So I'm reading, I can digest and soak in the information um, at the beginning of the day more so than I can throughout the course of the day. Because once the day actually gets started, it's too much going on. It's too, like, it's chaotic. You got to go to work. You're picking up kids. You're trying to figure out what dinner is going to be. You're lending yourself out to other people in terms of, helping them to take care of their problems. So throughout the course of the day, it's kind of hard for me to read. But I'll say one thing: if you read in the morning, this is good while you're alert. And then also before you go to bed, put some positivity in your mind before you go to bed. Read a book. A book that I'm reading right now is called the 12-week year. The 12-week year. Check that book out. It's pretty dope. It teaches you how to get more done in 12 weeks than people get done in a year. All right. So that's just a little plug right there. Um, but another thing you can do is also listen to audiobooks in the car. Like, we hear all these things. If you're on this self-development path, like, you're going to hear all these things as you begin to read more, as you begin to dig deeper into this journey. People tell you that all the time. Make your car like a audio or vehicle that's a library, right? That's all I listen to in my car. I don't listen to a lot of music, right? I don't listen to a lot of um, the radio stations and news and all that type of stuff. I don't really care too much about the sports and none of that. I want to listen to what's going to help me to be the best me that I can be. So that's another suggestion for you all, just to help you cope. Um, and here's one: like, a lot of people are running away from this, especially in the African American community. I know as of late, within the last, I don't know, 3 to 5 years, they have made it somewhat cool. But I'm here to tell you right now, it's absolutely cool. And that's therapy. Like, I did it before. I did a 9-week session with a therapist, like, just getting off all the past trauma, all the past baggage, all the things that I was afraid of, the things that, like, why I am the way I am today, as it relates to females, as it relates to my kids, as it relates to not having a father, as it relates to, the relationship that I have with my siblings, my mom, everything. Like, I just laid it all out on the table. And I give you a tip too when picking out a therapist, because I definitely recommend that as a way to cope. When picking out a therapist, make sure your therapist listens more than they talk. They should be only just poking at you, right? So drawing more information out of you, and go there with an open mind. And listen, I get it. At first, when I um, like, growing up, I wasn't with it either. Like, who needs to see a shrink? Like, it was taboo in our community. Like, nobody's doing that. That's for rich people or whatever the case may be. But it's actually cool. You can go there, and it's not like the typical you go there and lay on the couch and do all this type of stuff. But you can do it via Zoom. You can actually go in person. You can do it over the phone. But it just gives you a chance for somebody to hear you and get your thoughts out, because that's what we feel like. Nobody's listening. So I definitely totally recommend therapy. That's for sure, therapy. And then if you don't feel comfortable with going to a therapist, talk to somebody that you close to that'll give it to you raw and uncut, and that's going to be unbiased. Like my brother, I can call my brother anytime I want. I can call my sister anytime I want, right? My brother's going to be more relatable because he's coming from a male perspective like I am, but sometimes I need that flip side from my sister as well. But yeah, we have deep, elaborate conversations, and it should not only should it help to build you up, but it should also give you a check-in in terms of if you're wrong or not. Like, nah, bro, you was wrong on that one, right? And so these are just a few ways that I came up with. But fellas, I want to make sure that you're in the best mental capacity that you can be. If you feel bogged down, shoot me an email, man. I'll give you some advice. bfathercenter@gmail.com. If you feel lethargic, if you feel like you have signs of depression, if you feel like you just can't go anymore, if you feel like, yo, I'm making plans, but they're just not working, I get in these trenches with you, man. Like we can bounce some ideas back and forth off each other, and we can figure this thing out. All I'm telling you is don't give up. We got a lot of hurdles that's in front of us, but you got to keep jumping those hurdles. You got to run through them, or you got to get around them. But you have to keep going. Like, don't get complacent. Don't get like stagnated. Don't stop. You feel like you came to this barrier or this wall and you can't get around it. You got to go through it. So I'm just checking in, seeing how you all's mental health is, man. Like I'm actually concerned about you all. I wish it was something that I can put together. Matter of fact, I don't wish. I'll put something together in which we can get together in the community somewhere and maybe just map some things out. And I'm sure that there's actually other things that's out here that is taking place that we just haven't did the research on, right? So brothers, take care of yourself, man. Take care of your mental health, right? This mind is so powerful, we don't even know. Like everything starts with a thought. Whatever you want to do, everything starts with a thought. All right, and it's for us to be thought based, not emotional based, right? If you ever see, like, once you become emotions, or once you put emotions before thought, you make irrational decisions. Always put thought before emotions, right? Always put thought before emotions. But there is time that we need to express our emotions, right? And I just listed a few examples for you all. So again, work on your mental health so you can be the best you can be. Fathers, continue to do what you do best, and that is to be a great father. Black Father Center.